Hello, if you're new here, my name is Bethany, and here at The Curated Feminine, I teach women how to elevate their lives and their standards through feminine energy. Today, I want to talk to you about the Queen archetype, and this is a really fun concept because Queen is a word that we tend to throw around a lot as women, but there are ways to really truly embody that archetype, and it's delicious and it's fun and it will raise the standards for everything in your life. So I'm going to give you 5 different ways to really embody Queen energy. Queen is something that we tend to call each other a lot as women. So if you scroll through social media, you will see couples be like, oh, this is my king and I am his queen. You see women call each other queen when we're dressed up and looking really good. So it's like, it's such a fun word and concept, but it's very difficult to actually master and embody as a true concept. So that's why I'm going to teach you how to do it. The first is to have a vision. So a true Queen archetype has a vision. This goes for herself, this goes for her family, this goes for her marriage, this goes for her business, her career, every area of life. She has a vision for what she wants the future to look like, and she actively works towards it. So one way to do this really practically is to journal. And I don't mean like your standard Dear Diary, he looked at me and made my heart flutter, not like that. I mean actually consistently writing down your goals for your vision for the future. So what a queen will do is she will have a vision for her marriage or her partnership, for example. She will have a vision for the way that she wants to communicate with her partner, with the way that she wants their finances to look, with the way that she wants their house to look one day. She will have a vision for her children and for her family, for the standards that she wants them to have, for the goals that she wants to help them accomplish. And she'll have a vision for herself as well, how she wants to operate in the world in 6 months, in a year, in 5 years. She has visions and she actively works towards them. If you don't have visions for life, it will constantly feel like life is happening to you. If you don't have goals that you're working on, you will be swayed whichever way the wind blows. And a queen knows this. True leaders have visions, and a queen archetype is a leader, and so for that reason she has a vision for the future. Next is energetics, and if you're not familiar with that, it has to do with masculine and feminine energy. Several other areas as well, but I'll focus on those two. A queen truly understands energetics, and the reason is if you don't understand what masculine energy is and what feminine energy is and how different people operate within those energetics, it is difficult to communicate with them because you don't understand them fully. So a queen understands that if her partner is more of a masculine energy being, for example, if he tends to operate better with masculine energy, she will understand the different areas in which he embodies this, and she'll understand how to communicate with him through that lens. So for example, if you have a male partner and you want him to feel empowered, if you mother him or belittle him because you don't understand the energetics behind how he operates, it's very difficult to have an actual king archetype as a partner. You're not going to embolden him, you're not going to inspire him, instead you'll be belittling him, and then you'll end up with a man-child for a partner. So a queen understands this, and she knows how to really inspire her partner through masculine energy. And same with feminine energy. She knows how to really embody feminine energy within herself. She knows when her girlfriends are maybe struggling with their energy balance, and she knows how to inspire the right balance within others. She knows when her feminine energy stores are getting depleted. She knows when she is maybe embodying too much masculine energy or even not enough, because if you don't have masculine energy, it's very difficult to actually accomplish your goals, your dreams, and to stay focused. And she knows how to consistently check in with herself to have the right balance of both for what works well for her, for what works well for her marriage. So to give you another example, with feminine energy and motherhood, not all parts of motherhood are actually feminine. So when you are barking orders at your kids to try to get them out the door, when you're trying to get them out the door for school, when you are needing to punish them, a lot of that is like this, almost like this mother bear energy. It's not necessarily feminine, whereas that nurturing side, that soft side, that's feminine energy. So when it comes to being a mother, you embody both energetics in order to create the most incredible human beings possible. So the queen archetype really understands this and constantly checks in with herself and the way that she is operating in the world. Next is health. And the queen archetype understands that health, both physical and mental, is incredibly important if she wants to be her absolute best for herself and for those around her. So getting enough steps in per day, as simple as that, making sure that you are working on your body and with your body to ensure that you feel as good as humanly possible, making sure that you eat foods that make you feel really incredible, that make you feel nourished, that make you feel good. All of that is part of your physical health. A queen archetype understands that her physical health is a direct reflection of how well she can actually operate in the world. So if you feel sluggish because you're eating foods that aren't good for you, if you feel tired and uninspired because you're not actually getting out and getting fresh air, going for your walks, going to the gym, hot girl walks are a thing now, like there's a reason. Making sure that you look after your physical health is a huge part of the queen archetype. And same goes for mental health. There is this big trend with women when we become mothers especially, but even in general, where we think we can put the needs of everybody else before our own and we'll still be our best selves. Like, oh, I'll go to a psychologist next year because my children, I need to focus on my children more now. I'll put that off for a couple of years. I've actually got some low-lying postnatal depression, but I'll put that off for as long as possible and instead I'll focus on everything else. I'll make sure that my children are dressed perfectly. I'll make sure that I'm doing everything that my husband needs, but I'll put off my mental health until later. A queen doesn't do this because you're not going to be your best self. You cannot actively work towards your vision for the future. You cannot actually be the best wife possible. You cannot actually be a present friend. You cannot truly be an incredible mother if you're putting off your mental health. You need to ensure that you're taking care of every area of yourself, mind, body, and soul. And the queen archetype really truly understands that. When she needs to speak to someone, when she is feeling sad, when she's feeling angry, when maybe she has childhood wounding that she needs to work on, she is very quick to respond and work on these things. She prioritizes it because she knows that the better her mental health is, the better partner, mother, friend, everything else she is. Next is communication. Communication is a huge skill for any leader to have, and this has really come to the forefront in the workplace. Not so much in politics probably, but communication is hugely important as any kind of a leader, and especially as a queen archetype. Women in particular tend to be very good at being persuasive and communicating very well, and the queen archetype understands this. She works to communicate well. She works to communicate her standards to those in her life and to really hold them accountable to those standards. She knows how to communicate standards to herself. That's part of that vision making process. And she knows how to communicate her boundaries. So you will not see the queen archetype letting things slide forevermore and becoming embittered and frustrated with those around her. She communicates her boundaries and her standards, and she holds others accountable. And she also does the same within herself. So queen has a huge amount of self-trust. Self-trust and confidence go hand in hand, and a lot of that has to do with the boundaries and standards that you set for yourself. So if you don't have any boundaries for yourself, you'll consistently set goals and just never achieve them. And that if you do that for long enough, it will consistently break down your trust within yourself, which absolutely kills your confidence. And a queen is a very confident archetype. So if you want to become a confident woman, if you want to embody that queen archetype, having high level communication is a huge part of that. Same with the way that you can communicate with others, just with your words. If you are constantly saying, if you're constantly second guessing yourself, if you're over explaining, giving people reasons for things that isn't actually any of their business, when you do all of that, it creates all of these energy leaks throughout your life. And if you're leaking energy everywhere, you're not going to have enough energy to embody the queen archetype. And lastly, and this one cannot be underestimated, is appearance. You've heard me speak about this on this channel before, but appearance is really important. The way that you look on the outside often reflects the way that you feel on the inside. That's why when people have these leaps in their self-development, they'll look different because they start dressing differently, because they start holding different standards for themselves with their health. Appearance has to do with health as well, right? Your skin glows differently when you're taking care of yourself. You will look after your hair, skin, and nails differently when you're actually looking after your health and your appearance. And this is a big part of the queen archetype. She knows how to use her appearance to her advantage as well. When you know how to dress the part for different situations that you're in, that's how you really embody that queen archetype. Think of Kate Middleton, for example. Now, obviously, she has a whole army behind her, a whole team working to really help her look and feel her best all the time. But this is what it takes to be a queen. She is constantly being guided towards being a future queen, and her appearance has a lot to do with that. So you'll notice if she goes to If she goes to a public appearance where she needs to be dressed to the nines, she'll be dressed accordingly. If she goes to a public appearance where maybe she is working with underprivileged children, she is still dressed well, she's still dressed to a high quality, but she makes sure that she dresses the part for then. And a queen really understands this. So your appearance is key to getting what you want, to having the right standards for yourself, and for really embodying the queen archetype. Same goes for the standards of dress, meaning a queen holds her own standards for her appearance. So she doesn't go by what fast fashion tells her. She doesn't go just by whatever color is on trend for that season. She knows what colors look good on her. She knows what style of dress looks good on her body, and she wears that. She understands that a lot of classic cuts tend to look better altogether and will save her money in the long run. Because if you're constantly spending money and wasting time on fast fashion, it's difficult to work towards your vision for the future. She doesn't have time for that. So instead, she looks at what looks good on her, what feels good on her, and she dresses in that. She creates almost a uniform so that she doesn't have to waste a lot of energy dressing in ways that don't actually suit her. She figures out what looks good, she experiments with what looks good, and she sticks to that because she's a queen. Thank you so much for watching, ladies. Now, if you enjoyed that and you want to learn more about the queen archetype, I actually have a course called the 7 Feminine Archetypes that will take you through each of the archetypes, how to embody them, what they're all about, how to find out what your dominant archetype is, and how to embody different elements of each archetype to become a really whole embodied woman. Because women are very multifaceted. The queen is not the only archetype that we get to occupy. So if that interests you, I'll link that course down below. Thank you so much for watching today. Make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you like, comment with any feedback that you have. This helps me know what kind of videos you want for the future. And thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.